I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking to a very inspired author. Her name is Terri Boas. She delves deep into the intricacies of modern relationships and the unbreakable bonds of friendship in her two books. One is called Two Scoops, Not Three, and the sequel, Two Scoops, Too Much. Through the tales of Briony, Lauren, Natalie, the author weaves a narrative that's both heartwarming and heart-wrenching, capturing the essence of love, trust, and the dilemmas of life. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Bridge Literary Media for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing Terri's books. Terri, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. I'm very grateful. This is great. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful to have you. Your books are very inspired. What made you come up with the characters of Briony, Lauren, and Natalie and base a story around their lives? Are these people you knew on some level, or people you've invented, or people you've half invented? Tell us a little bit about the backstory.
I had no idea. I had no plot, no characters, but I had a message. So I had a message that I wanted my characters to tell the story, and that's how I came up with them. However, I've had quite a colourful life, I'd say, quite a colourful, varied career. I've worked abroad. I've lived in North Africa, Spain, Spanish Islands. I worked for the army for 10 years, and also I've worked in gyms teaching, performing group exercise to music. So I've got a wealth of people, and that's the way I can kind of tell the story. But I did, like most women, loved Sex and the City, and I loved the friendship that the girls, Carrie, Samantha, Miranda and Charlotte, what they gave to us on the sofa, that friendship. I wanted to try and recreate that with some modern women, some British women, not so flamboyant as Samantha Jones, but more real to life. And that's what I've done. I've done.
Absolutely. You said in the beginning that you weren't there to really create the characters. You were there to give a message. What's that message you wanted to give readers?
Well, the message to me is so important. Without the message, there would definitely be no book. So I think it's simply the importance of love, friendship, and acceptance. So through the girls' lives and like their circumstances, their characters, their whatever they go through, I can show you many different forms of love and how the girls change, how love changes, because it's such an amazing chemical connection you can have between characters and between people. And so you watch through the girls how the friendship is the foundation of everything, but when they change and when they do things, they still love each other, but they fall out, and it's how they forgive and how they still connect and still carry on their friendship. But from that's where the acceptance comes from as well. So self-acceptance, I think, is it's not appreciated as much as it should be. And the girls, again, they go through changes, they go through realizations, and they have to change, and they have to accept themselves. There are things like there is mental health issues in there. There is a same-sex relationship. There's alcohol. There's terrorism. I cover a whole bunch of things. Yeah. But the girls, they go through these circumstances, and so they have to learn to accept themselves, accept the exterior as well, and how they deal with it. And the self-acceptance, again, from friendship, from yourself, is learning to love you for who you are, and for your good, for your bad, and also the acceptance from society. We're trying to portray that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. What does society know? Why do you have to be boxed? Why do you have to be labeled? So I'm trying to just bring conversation through the girls, through what they go through. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah, well, you've done a wonderful job in conveying that message, for sure. Now, you mentioned Sex and the City. Have you envisioned this perhaps as a TV series or a series of movies?
That's the dream. Sure is. I I've envisioned for a long time how I'd like a Netflix series or an Apple TV series to be made and based on my girls, my characters. So I had an idea. So the books are set in May 2017. So they're quite tight knit. It's not a lot of time, but a lot of things happen. But I think having that on the telly can then open up to a whole lot of other a lot of other ideas, creating more conversation. So the idea I have is to have a TV series called Sex in the Burbs. And I'd like it to be set in a town close to London, you know, the suburbs of London, and then open up the books. Again, I've created 3 relatable characters. So from the feedback of readers, they've said that, oh, I relate to Briony, oh, I know someone just like Natalie, and oh, you know, so people can relate to them, can empathize with them. So again, I would like people to be able to watch it from the sofas, like Sex and the City, and champion the girls or fall out with the girls, you know, and just this can be continuous.
Yeah. Yep, I think so. I think it'd be a terrific series. And I do think you have created very modern, realistic female characters that I think are needed. You know, like you said, Sex and the City is, you know, dated at this point, and the women who are playing it now, they're like playing as, you know, mature women. But we need to see some young women out there in these type of roles. That's for sure. Tell us a little bit about the title. Delicious titles, I should say, dealing with ice cream. Why did you use the metaphor of ice creams? 2 scoops, not 3. 2 scoops.
So, there you go.
There you go.
2 scoops, not 3, and it's got the ice cream on the front. But again, I had no idea what the title would be. I had no idea because, like I said, I had no idea what the characters were, nor what the plot was, or anything. And it wasn't until the final chapter, and it all came together. So at the end, in the final chapter, Briony is sat at the pub and she's feeling a bit sorry for herself. And Flo, the landlady, says to her, "Would you like 2 scoops of ice cream or 3?" And then it's a metaphor for her love life. So she would like 2 people in her relationship, not 3, which could have possibly happened because the fella that she thinks is going to be the one in her life turns out to be a bit dirty, and he'd gone behind her back, asked Briony if he could have a threesome with those 2. And so then that's where it comes from. So she would like 2 scoops, not 3, like she'd like 2 people in a relationship, not 3. But then 2 scoops too much. Again, this time I had no idea again. I had no idea. But again, in the final chapter, it all came together. So the metaphor this time is for Natalie, the other friend, and it's for her loves of her life. So she loses, and she loves and she loses in 2 scoops too much, and she has a very difficult time. But she works out that the 2 people that remain in her life throughout the whole time is Briony and Natalie. So Briony and Lauren, sorry. So when Lauren is scooping out some ice cream for her daughter, Natalie's like, "Oh no, that's 2 scoops too much. She only needs 3." And then she's like, "I only need 3. I need 3. You girls have been with me through all of this." And so that's where that comes from. But the third book, 2 scoops blended. No spoilers, but I know what the name of the book is already. So it is not the same as last time, but this time I know what it's going to be called.
Now, the 3rd book, have you finished writing it? What's your progress on that?
I haven't finished writing it, no. But my editor has said that she would like it to be available in the summer. So that would mean I'd need to get my first manuscript to her by Christmas. So I need to get typing. That's what I need to do. But however, I know the characters. I know the catalyst. I know the name.
You've been living in their heads for a while, so this book will be easier to write because you know the characters from inside and out, what they've been through, their histories.
And also all of the 3 books, they all have a different song throughout the book. So the first one is I Know Him So Well from the musical Chess, and it appears a few times throughout the book. The second time it is When You Believe by and Whitney. So they all have different meanings. Again, they're portraying or passing along my message. But the third one, I've got Taylor Swift's Delicate. So it's the words in there I find are amazing, because at the beginning the girls, they sing the song because they love it, it's favorite, but then they have to try and find forgiveness about 3/4 of the way through the book, and they can't speak to each other, but they find a way of communicating through Taylor Swift's words, and I like that. So I have DM'd her on Insta asking if she would mind if I borrowed her words in the story, but obviously she's the most busiest woman in the world at the moment, isn't she? So
Exactly.
so I haven't heard back, but you know, I'm not really expecting to, but at least she's aware.
Right. And she kind of defines the feelings and the mores of contemporary women, it seems. Like she's kind of really, I think it's part of her popularity. She's tapped into the female psyche of this generation, right?
Yes, sure, definitely. And again, my girls are like that, but from the literary world, not the singing world.
Absolutely. You've tapped into the psyche of today's generation as well. One of the issues you deal with is when Natalie decides to have an affair. It's a pivotal point in the story. How do you approach writing this sensitive topic without vilifying her or justifying her actions?
Well, again, this is about the self-acceptance of her. What she's doing, she knows deep down that there is a reason for her doing this. So to start with, she thinks she's just having a lot of fun, and then it gets a bit dark, but she then has to look inside herself. What am I missing? This man is not going to fill the hole. And then she has to look inside herself. But unfortunately, when you do things like this and you make mistakes like that, that's when you hurt people. And so then she has to deal with the hurt inside herself, and also the external stuff, and how she can be forgiven, and how she can deal with also learning what is missing in her life.
Wonderful. Terri Boas has written 2 books that are very, very unique, very, very contemporary, really get into the psyche of contemporary women. The names of the books are 2 Scoops, Not 3, and its sequel, 2 Scoops, Too Much. And then there is a 3rd book that'll be out perhaps by next summer. And the name of that book is, Terri?
It's 2 Scoops Blended.
2 Scoops Blended. Okay, the ice cream metaphor continues. It's a wonderful metaphor. It's a delicious metaphor. You will enjoy the lives and the adventures of Briony, Lauren, and Natalie. Terri, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, the pleasure's been all mine. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.